The name of my company is New You Pathway. I will leave information and how to contact me at the end of this video. But today, I want to talk to you about the pillars of healthy eating, basic 101 on nutrition, building a balanced meal, a little bit about meal planning, and then just kind of finding a balance. So again, I welcome you to the ultimate guide to healthy eating for 2025. So when we think about healthy eating, we're no longer relying on fad diets or weird supplement to learn how to eat right, and the right way to eat, and how to have a general healthy lifestyle for a happy, healthy lifestyle. What we are talking about is just the basic pillars of healthy living. So when we think about healthy eating, generally we think about just nutrition, but there's more to that puzzle than just nutrition. So when we talk about healthy living, it's built on several other key pillars that include the way you move, the way you eat, even your relationship and connection when it comes to movement is important. To engage in a regular physical activity. Now, it doesn't have to be just going to the gym every day, but at least just moving your body in a way that you enjoy. And that is a great for energy and to make sure that your body is healthy. And it's important for you to have the appropriate amount of sleep. That's very crucial. It really needs to be prioritized. And I think in our current way of living, it becomes cool almost to say that you're not just getting enough sleep, that you're not just prioritizing that sleep, that you don't have time to sleep. But the truth is, sleep is absolutely crucial to the health. Because basically what happens when you're sleeping is that the body is actually repairing and rebuilding itself. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you're getting the appropriate amount of sleep. It is detrimental to make sure that you're prioritizing at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Stress management is also very crucial. You can't be going around with huge core spikes all day long. Like some people like to try caffeine and think that that will do it for them. But the body actually has to go through sustainable practicing mindfulness. It's definitely important. And doing things like meditation to make sure that you have moments to yourself where you can just kind of recenter, focus on yourself, things that recharge you to make you feel good. And then one thing we want to make sure that we think about is I feel that it's so important and we don't realize that we all seek it or we all need it because it's vital. Is that social connection. It's really important that you feel that you have a good connection with the different people, positive people, to be in your circle, your social circle, so that you can really feel fulfilled. That aspect is very important to build meaningful relationship with loved ones. And this can really help you feel supported, someone to listen to you, someone to value you, someone, of course, to kind of help you recharge and move throughout the day. And then, of course, lastly, it's that healthy eating. Eating healthy helps to nourish your body with balanced meals that will satisfy you which we're going to do a deeper dive into, because it's just important that these things are ultimate health for sustaining you. Sometimes it's just not enough when you need more things to addressing symptoms and managing your health condition or accessing the right medication. So basically, all of these things are so vital in terms of making sure that you have all of these pillars in your life. And then lastly, I would definitely say that it's important to make sure that you have a professional team. You have a regular checkup, a doctor that you can get your physicals from, someone you can talk to about your health, and making sure that you're managing, you're getting your blood work done so that you can kind of know where your numbers are at, as well as talking to your doctor. And then this is the shameless plug where I come in at. If you don't have a nutritionist, feel free to contact New You Pathway so that we can provide assistance to you. Basically, we do everything from providing you one-on-one nutrition, health plan, curtailing your a meal plan for you, a workout plan for you, looking at your nutrients that you should be getting in based on your activity that you're taking in, looking at the medication that you're on to make sure that you're having a balanced meal as well. So all of those things are just so important. But moving right along, the next thing that I'd like to go into is just the basic of nutrition. So now it's just time to kind of address some of the most important, one of the most important pillar of healthy eating. And let's just start with step one, which are the basic of nutrition. And since, again, this session is just a basic, friendly course on healthy eating, it starts with understanding your body needs. And so the basic thing you need to understand is that there are 3 micronutrients that the body needs. They are carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Carbohydrates should be your body's main source of energy, and they are mainly found in your fruits, and your starchy vegetables, in your grains, as well as in your legumes. Those are your whole carbohydrates. Then keep in mind that you also have refined carbohydrates, and they're found in anything like your white refined flour, and then our all favorite sugar as well. So the next thing we have is our proteins, and the proteins are essential for the muscle repair and growth, and they're found in a lot of animal products. And when it comes down to those who are plant-based, there are proteins and plant-based, and you can find those in things like your tofu, as well as your legumes, and then also in your nuts and seeds as well. And then the next micronutrients that we have are fats. And so they're important to support your brain health and the absorption of certain vitamins. And also they help to correct hormone function. And you can find them in things like olive oil, avocado, or avocado oils. You can find them also in your nuts and in your seeds, and in your fish as well. A lot of people think that eating fat will make you fat. No, that's not the case. Refined sugars are what tends to add the fat. So you want to eat the healthy fats is what you basically want to take in. So you also want to make sure that you include your vitamins and your minerals like iron and calcium and vitamin D. And these things help to support your immune function, your bone health, and give you energy if you're eating all of the right macros that I've just mentioned, which are the carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats, including them in your food, and then basically making sure that you're eating a variety. I'm not going to say that I'm a big fan of counting microcalories, but I'll go over just some general guidelines that you should be getting in. About 50% of your calories should be coming from carbohydrates, about 25% should be coming from your proteins, and another 25% should be coming from your fat. So if you take a diet that is about 2,000 calories, that would mean 1,000 calories of the carbs would be about 250 grams from your carbohydrates. 500 calories of proteins would equate to about 125 grams. And then 500 calories of fat would come from your fat, which is about 55 grams of fat. Now, the next important thing is definitely hydration. It's very important to make sure that you are drinking enough water, at least 6 to 8 cups of water on a daily basis. That's the minimum that you should be taking. Your body is mostly contains of water, so it's important that you put in water back into your body. So you can do this by simply making sure that you're carrying around a reusable water bottle and just have it with you and just kind of refill it up throughout the day. To make sure that you're also making sure that you stay hydrated. So just in terms of energy units in your food, just knowing that they are essential for the body function, and making sure that you balance your calories and consume a variety of food that you're burning off to kind of help make sure that you're getting in all of these micronutrients and lots of water throughout the day. I will definitely say, ideally for women, it's recommended that women, they consume probably about 2,000 calories a day. And for men, a little bit more, probably about 2,500 calories a day. Obviously, we all know that this is going to vary from gender to gender. And then from person to person. But basically, this is just a general rule of thumb, just something for you to kind of take into consideration, because then you also have to take in your age, your level of physical activity, as well as your body composition. So that's why it's so important that you speak with a professional or talk to someone that can help you just get on or calculate the needs that your body need in terms of your calories and how much you should be taking in on a regular basis. And if you need help with that, that's one of the things that I can definitely work with you in terms of helping you with. And you can feel free to just give me a call, because I am taking on clients. And so very happy to kind of help you with that. And so I would definitely say that it's so important to kind of familiarize yourself with the nutrition label. So whenever you're eating, it's important to just kind of look at the nutrition label so that you know exactly how many calories you're taking in, how many sodium you're taking in, and, just to kind of have an idea so that you know exactly what you're eating, what you're consuming, and have an idea to make sure that you're kind of taking in all of these numbers, which are so, so, so important. So building a balanced meal is also important. And so you need to just kind of have an idea of just the and know what your energy is like. Know the feeling and focus on health. And it's important to make sure that your meals are balanced, and that you're not just looking at sticking to just like one particular type of food, but just an array of different types. I like to tell people the eating from the rainbow. So eating from all different colors, making sure you're taking in all the different types, the different colors of fruits and vegetables, making sure that you're getting in your micros, nutrients that we talked about earlier. This will help you to build your plate. And building your plate, basically, this method is basically taking your plate into like 1/3. So you're putting 1/3 of vegetables on your plate, 1/3 of carbs on your plate, and the remaining should be your protein. And within your protein, making sure that you're adding the healthy fats that we were talking about. So this is kind of how you want to build your plate. And so you want to check and make sure that your plate is just healthy, gut-friendly foods is basically what you want to make sure that you're putting on your plate. Making sure that you're having also your probiotics as well as your prebiotics, because having a healthy gut is so important. Your gut is like that second brain. And so making sure that you are making sure that you're not just eating for taste, but you're eating to ensure that you have a healthy gut. So including those prebiotics, those probiotics, good healthy fruits, good healthy vegetables will definitely kind of help you. So when we think about your probiotics, which are actually organisms that are already in your gut, but basically you're just trying to make sure that you're eating to sustain that. And so some of the probiotics could be things like your things like yogurt, things like yogurt is definitely a good one. I like to eat kimchi. Kimchi contains a lot of probiotic as well. You want to make sure that you get in your prebiotic. Your prebiotic can be anything from getting onions, garlic, and things of that nature. Those are just beneficial bacteria that are very, very important for your body. While at the same time, you want to make sure that you get in lots of fiber. The average fiber that you want to get in to your body is about 30 grams, anywhere from 20 to about 30 grams of fiber on a daily basis, because having in those fibers are going to actually send you to the bathroom. And so it's so important that you are just balancing your meals with all of these things. Can't overemphasize that eating a good healthy breakfast or a lunch and dinner are going to be very crucial to starting your day. And your breakfast does not have to be a big breakfast. It could be something so small, such as just having a healthy, something healthy, like a healthy fruit. An example of that would be an avocado. An avocado is a fruit, and it's a healthy fat also. So having something like an avocado first thing in the morning, just to kind of stabilize that blood sugar, is so important. And next, I want to emphasize that your next meal should be something that is going to help balance you or sustain you through the day. So for lunch, you can have your biggest meal during the lunch, and then for dinner, you can have your smallest meal, because that's when you're going to allow your body to start kind of winding down. So it's so important to make sure that you're balancing out the different food groups, to make sure that you're getting in enough food, you're getting in a variety of food, you're eating multiple meals throughout the day, you're eating meals that is going to sustain you, and looking at when do you need that energy, and so that you can make sure that you have the nutrients that you actually need to kind of sustain you throughout the day when your body's actually kind of pushing through. So important to make sure that you're taking in your snacks. And it doesn't mean that you're just kind of gazing through the day and just eating like chips and chocolate. Of course not. We're not going to do things like that. We want to take in healthy things like maybe an apple, maybe some nuts. Those are healthy, smart choices that we want to make sure that we're eating to kind of satisfy that hunger, to keep us full and satisfied. And making sure that we're drinking in water, taking in the water. Because a lot of times we're not hungry. A lot of times it's just a matter of us just kind of drinking water because of the fact that our body just is 70%, 70 to 80% of water. So sometimes it's taking in that water. But then I definitely want to make sure that I emphasize to you just making sure that you're kind of pairing your carbs and your proteins and your fat and your fiber, and all of those things and your snacks throughout the day to satisfy you, so that it lasts you and you have all the things that you actually need, the fruits and the nut butters, the whole grains, like sourdough bread, wheat bread, gluten-free bread, if that's what you need. You can have some things like carrots and hummus, throughout the day, as a nice little healthy snack. And then you want to make sure that you're drinking lots of water. A general rule of thumb is that just eating 4 hours, going about 4 hours in between, and just kind of assessing, am I really hungry, or am I just thirsty? And if that's the case, drink some water. And then if you drink the water, then see, okay, am I hungry? And then if you are, then going ahead and eating. You don't want to starve yourself, because the body, it's looking for food to fuel itself, because if you're eating based on the body need for food, then that's how you're going to rev up that metabolism and keep that metabolism going, so the body will burn the food so that it's not being utilized as stored fat. And then making sure that you're incorporating can't overemphasize the probiotic and the prebiotic into your diet. Start with adding one probiotic, let's say for dinner, and then you want to make sure that you kind of balance that off with adding it into your snack options, just a little bit at a time. And so you don't want to skip meals. You just kind of always want to kind of assess where you're at, and making sure that you're getting in, you're eating, you're fueling your body, and making sure. The next thing that I will also emphasize is that meal planning is everything. I try my best to emphasize to my client that they want to make sure that they plan a meal, prep their meal. If you're on a 5-day work schedule, Monday through Friday, Sunday will probably be the ultimate time to actually just kind of make sure that you're just kind of thinking about what you're going to eat for the week and plan for it. Sometimes on Sunday we don't take the time to do it, but just sitting down and just thinking through. Before you actually wait until you're hungry, you actually have an idea of what it is that you're actually going to actually eat, because you want to make healthy, wise decision. So planning and meal prepping is everything. It is so essential, because it also allows you or gives you an opportunity to kind of assess what are the ingredients that I'm taking in, and making sure that you're getting in those micronutrients that your body needs throughout the day. And then you're actually kind of thinking through what type of meals that I'm going to actually have, and what type of workout that you're going to do. So, you do the meal planning, but then also you want to think about what type of workouts am I going to also do as well. So that's going to be very, very essential, just in terms of helping you to be successful throughout the week. Generating and making sure that you're cooking your vegetables and not overcooking your vegetables. And then making sure that you're getting things throughout the week. I can't emphasize that simple things that you can just kind of make sure that you do is maybe even journaling so that, because sometimes when we write down what we're eating and then we look back, then we realize, oh, did I really eat that? Then you realize, and you're like, okay, well, next week I'm not going to do these things that I did last week. So just kind of making sure that you're kind of journaling and writing these things down are definitely going to be essential for kind of setting yourself up for success, and making sure that you are aware that mindfulness is everything, and it plays a big role into healthy eating. As you're prepping your food, making sure that you're getting in your fruits and your vegetables, making sure that you're adding different herbs and spices, and things that you actually like, because you'll be surprised that a lot of those herbs and those spices that will help give it a lot of the minerals and the vitamins that your body actually needs for the brain, for fueling, for the heart. To combat inflammation and things of that nature. So definitely we want to make sure that we are incorporating those things as well. And I definitely want to make sure that I emphasize that when you're meal planning, grocery shopping is everything. So make a list. Make a list and make this a habit that you're making a list of the different things that you're needing for the week to prep your food, and that you actually have them, and that you're eating a balanced meal, and you're getting in a variety. So with that, I'll definitely say that finding a balance is everything. Definitely eating in moderation. These are always words that I use on repeat, because they are so important to healthy eating, because all the foods can fit into a healthy diet, and all the foods can fit into a healthy diet. But you need to not be worried about balancing things, but you want to make sure that you are having a diet not just built on the refined sugar, but then making sure that you're getting in that vegetables and those fruits that the body actually need, healthy food basically. So making sure that basically the body is just as balanced as possible, making sure that you're reading the label. Food it's a good thing. Food it's yummy, it's good, but we want to make sure that we are consuming healthy food, nutrient dense food, that is going to bring your body a lot of the nutrients, and give it the energy that it needs to sustain itself throughout the day. You don't want to take in the calorie dense food, like eating candy or eating chips. But there are food that is going to be nutrient dense, that's going to satisfy that craving and at the same time bring you that comfort and that joy. Oftentimes we think that a piece of candy is just going to help us push to the next level, but it only gives you a second of energy and then it's gone. But that piece of apple, a fruit, that is going to give you the sugar, that sweetness, and it's going to give you a nutrient dense that you're looking for. So you want to think about whole food, nutrient dense food, things to think about is making sure that you have whole grains, and your whole grains and all of the fruits and the vegetables and the legumes like beans and lentils, your nuts and your seeds, and of course, all of the bulk should be all of the bulk of your diet, which is going to be so important. And eating, making sure that you're getting in those proteins. It could be animal protein or it could be plant-based proteins, while focusing on things that are going to be included in your meals, that are going to be to give you the room for the foods that you love, that are going to be healthy, that are going to be nutrient dense, and that's going to treat you. And it's okay to indulge every now and again, but indulge in good, healthy food, wholesome food, not man-made, but food that have come from the ground, from the earth, so that it will help sustain you and fuel your soul, and make sure that you don't have any guilt when you're eating food or you're cheating yourself. You want to make sure that you're having a well-balanced diet. And so that is just so important, that you're taking in all of these different food, you're eating them in moderation. The next thing that I will also say, that it's just so important that you have a healthy relationship with food. So making sure that you build positive relationship with that food, absolutely fundamental. That healthy eating, you want, is so important to cultivate, that you want to make sure that you are, first of all, ditching the bad diet culture or diet rules, basically, that you are making sure that you are looking at the labels of your food and you're making good choices, not bad choices, and telling yourself that you are going to eat healthy. You're going to eat good, healthy food and not feel guilty about it afterwards and be like, oh, okay, well, I eat this cookie right now. But you want to look at just making sure that you eat healthy and getting into a habit of eating healthy on a regular basis. So you want to give yourself that power. You want to feel energized to start building a good, healthy practice, and being mindful about eating good, healthy food, and making sure you take the time to just kind of savor your meals that you're eating. And because oftentimes we sit and we eat in front of the TV and we don't realize that we just sat there and ate a whole pack of cookies. Or we just sat there and ate our dinner. And did we really focus on the moment of just really taking in the food and eating in and savoring all of the different ingredients, the herbs, the spices, all of the micronutrients that you just put into your body, that you are just being aware. You're not being distracted, and you're focusing on what you're actually putting into your mouth. I can't overemphasize that. It's just so important to just be intuitive about eating, because that is where the learning curve is at. It's crucial to just be aware. Oftentimes, I used to be guilty of this, where I just be eating in my car because I'm trying to get to the next place. But I didn't take the time to sit down to eat, or eat with a friend, or just look at my food and see exactly what is it that I'm eating. And then ask myself, am I eating because I'm hungry? Am I eating to fuel my body? Or am I eating because, oh, it's 12 o'clock and it's time for lunch, so I want to eat? But just being mindful about what you're eating, when you're eating, and taking the time to fuel the body, re-energize the body, recharge the body with good, healthy food, and not just eating just because. I will also say that I want to address emotional eating. is also one of the big, huge pillar. Um, and just making sure that you're not just eating just because you're stressed, you're bored, or because you're rushing, or because it's just something to do. Just being aware. Having a healthy relationship with food is so important. We really need to work on identifying triggers and identifying things that are going to get you to be in the a good emotional state of being, that make you eat healthy. And then once you have found these things, you need to find other ways of addressing the emotion of we're sad, we're stressed. Look at other things, but don't let it be food, because food is just not the coping mechanism, because it can really harm us. It can harm the way we look. It can harm us of our health, rob us of our health, and make us become unhealthy, where we have to rely on the medication because of the fact that we were utilizing food the wrong way. So find other tools in your toolbox to help you with those emotional episodes that you may be having. When we think about food, we want to think about food as something that you find joy in, something where you using it to come and enjoy your friends and your family members, to sit down and to eat together. We used to do that at one time, and now we just don't do that. But it's so important to just sit down and eat your food, either with yourself, so you can be mindful of it, or eat it with your family and your friends, and use it in such a good way, not necessarily for a good coping mechanism, but just creating those social connection. And remember that, there are so many different cultures out there that use food for good things. So we use food to celebrate, but making sure that when we celebrate and eating healthy food, and have different experience and more moments of using food for satisfaction and for pleasure. Encompassing all of these things will bring in good feeling, and you don't want to feel guilty or shame or being uncomfortable with any of these steps. So making sure that you're taking actionable steps in terms of when you're planning your next meal is so important, and focusing on appreciating and turning your body into being healthy, telling your body that you're eating this meal because you want to be healthy and you want to enjoy the food, and just recognizing when you are hungry is going to be so important, and so vital, and making sure that you're not eating just because you're trying to empty that plate, but you're kind of, and not eating it because you're using it because for emotional triggers, just to kind of balance out your emotional, but you're eating because you're basically wanting to sustain yourself with energy. You're eating because your body needs that energy to kind of move throughout the day, which is so important. And so I say all of that to say that these are just some of the pillars that you want to look for in terms of your food, in terms of moving, in terms of just making sure that you're eating healthy, you're getting in that sleep, you're listening to your body. It's the most important thing that I want to make sure that we emphasize, and you're focusing on the different aspects of what your body is saying to you. And nutrition is so important that you're looking at making sure that you're going to be healthy on a daily basis, and make sure that you're getting in the sleep and your exercise and having a social connection These are all vital pillars in terms of the ultimate healthy guide to, or best tip, just in terms of nourishing your body. That I definitely want to leave you. So once again, my name is Lottie McLaurin. I greet you and I say that if you want to get in contact with me, I will be leaving my contact information for New You Pathway so that you can get in contact with me to set up a consultation, to help you set up a meal plan. And so I greet you and I thank you. Have a nice day. Lottie.